Episode 1325, Shut the Front Door.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Staring at a stop sign, watching people drive by.
Happy day. It is Mindset Monday, and it is time to get your game face on. Yes, are you ready to absolutely rock out your week? Come on, let's jump in. Shut the front door. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already even had the opportunity, you want to head on over to createyournow.com, where you can learn more and sign up for the Kisses newsletter, the Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Shut the front door. There's no way this can be happening. What was I thinking? I didn't plan for this. I didn't even want this in my life. The questions that swirl in your mind when you're in total disbelief. You don't understand why you are where you are and even how you got there. Now you're just attempting to survive, living day by day in extreme guilt, struggling with distractions that pull you in all different directions that you don't think you should even be doing. Your obligations and responsibilities have overtaken your life. Your mind can't slow down to comprehend what really is a priority. You're greeted with, "Hey, how are ya?" And it's all you can do but respond with, "I'm so busy." Shut the front door. Why is it that we are so great at reacting but not prioritizing? Our mind can play tricks on us, making us think we got to do all this stuff. But in reality, you don't have to do any of it. So here's a fun exercise for you. When you have a moment later today, I want you to go write down all the things that you have to do. All those motherly duties, the house cleaning, the carpools, the volunteer jobs, write it all down. Then go back and draw a line through every one of them, crossing them off your list. You don't have to do any of it. You get to do some of it. The thing is we've convinced ourselves that this is what life is supposed to be. Our minds wrapped up in chaos. Are you living in that chaotic world today? If you're not busy, you're not living. Where is your mind? Do you let it wander without leading the way it should go? Be careful of the trap around the corner. You manipulating yourself and those around you, distracted, worried, and upset. The guilt is strangling your schedule and your priorities. Shut the front door. Are you trying to control someone else's priorities? Oh, I am so good at that. Because, you can't deal with your own. Have you ever had those conversations where you're talking to your girlfriend and you're like, "Oh my gosh, this is how you need to do it." And she's like, "Oh, you are so right. Why didn't I think of that?" And then later on, when you have 2.5 seconds of peaceful time, you're like, "Yeah, why didn't I do that for myself? That was such a good idea, and I'm so failing at it." We're great at giving advice. We're great at taking care of everybody else, but when it comes to ourselves, we fail. We flop, and we need a flip-flop, don't we? Are you trying to control someone else's priorities because you can't get your own straight? Are you manipulating yourself in your own mind, attempting to get everything perfect? Being the perfect mom, the perfect wife, the perfect friend, the perfect sister, the perfect chef. We could go on and on and on. Everyday life is not epic. Living life is epic. So how are you living? Are you living flustered and frustrated, not getting to do what you really, really want to do? Are you operating under obligation? Has a smile left the room? Everything you're upset about today, you committed to yesterday. Think about that. Everything you're upset about today, you committed to yesterday. So all those yeses became all your, "Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I just did that. Why am I putting myself into this position?" Shut the front door. So how can you begin to get the madness to slow down? We all need to slow down. You're ready to jump off the obligation ship. where your responsibility ends and God's sovereignty begins. You got to engage the want to. That is your kiss to keep it simple strategy. Engage the want to, W-A-N-T. Do it because you have the fire, the passion within you, your mind ready to receive the ugly, bad, and the good. Now notice I said it backwards. Most of us say good, bad, and ugly, but it's the ugly, bad, and good because most of the stuff that happens in our life is ugly and bad before we even begin to comprehend that, oh my gosh, this is good and it's turning into great. Allow your language to support your opportunities, not turning them into obligations. Engage the want to, W-A-N-T. Number 1, it's the willingness to do what doesn't want to be done. It's your attitude. It's that willingness. You see, an obligation, you're like, I have to do it. And so that means if you have to do something, you usually do it with kind of a chip on your shoulder. But when you have a willingness to do what doesn't want to be done, it's no longer an obligation. It's more of a responsibility, a higher honor. You look at it differently. So engage the want to, the willingness. Number 2, acceptance. Accepting of what needs to be done. Prioritizing what matters. You don't have to do everything. Remember that list you're going to go make? You can cross absolutely everything off that list. And you're like, but wait a minute, if I cross off work, I can't pay bills. I got to pay bills. Technically, you don't have to. Now, there are consequences to that, right? You may end up in jail because you're not paying bills. You may not have a house over your head. So you have the opportunity to have a home with a roof. But in order to have that, you have to do some other things. But you really consider that an obligation or an opportunity. Accepting what needs to be done. Prioritize what matters. Engage the want to. Number 3, never give in. Always give up. Let God lead. You follow. So often we are finding ourselves giving inward, right? And that's where we fall. That's where we fail because it's working on our terms. It's doing what we think needs to be done. I did that all the time. And I was living a life that I thought was the life God wanted me to live. But I learned that I needed to never give in, meaning think about all about me and what I thought, my expectations, where I was going, and I needed to absolutely always give up. Let God lead. You follow. Engage the want to. And finally, number 4, T, thankful for opportunities, not obligations. This is living with a heart of gratitude. Welcoming back those what? Those smiles. Filling your heart with joy. I look at all of my children, and there are times every single one of them drives me batty. But would I give them back? No. Do I look at them and consider them an obligation? No. They're an opportunity, a gift from God. And I need to have a heart of gratitude when I am serving them. Engage the want to. Are you living in disbelief, leading your life behind where God wants you to be? We do that, I think, way too often, and we don't stop long enough to recognize it. We're driving the bus, we're loading the trucks, and we forget who is truly in control. We can pretend to be in the director's chair of our life. But is that really where you want to be sitting in your life? Or would you rather be sitting at the foot of the cross, letting God lead? Engage the want to. Now, I got to tell you, this stuff does not come easy. And in fact, you can wake up battling yourself. You may even have dreams like, oh my gosh, this is terrifying. If I begin to think about the want to, then maybe I'm losing excuses. No, you're not losing excuses. You're gaining freedom. We forget how much we want from ourselves, the expectations that we set upon ourselves. And that comes from how we were raised, what we have been exposed to, our experiences, what we see on TV, what we see in social media, what we feed our minds daily. What are we reading? Where are we going to church? Are we going to church? How are we feeding our mind, body, and spirit? Are you living in disbelief? Shut the front door. It's time for you to stop leading your life behind where God wants you to be. And when you're challenged with this, because you're going to be, you're going to come up against some crazy tall, thick brick walls. And you're going to be like, there's no way I can power through this. There is no way I'm going to hurdle over this. I'm too exhausted to do any more. And you're ready to what? Give in instead of give up. Engage the want to. Maybe you want some help with this. Click on the link, take aim in the show notes. I have a free gift for you. It's a coaching call with me, completely 100% complimentary. It's my way of serving you because I know how challenging this is. I've been there. I've done that. Am I doing it perfect now? No. Am I doing it better? Yes. Allow me the opportunity to help you when you feel like your life is an obligation. That's not a life worth living. At least not on our terms. But if you live on God's terms, imagine the doors that will be open. You won't have to shut the front door anymore. Manage your life in the way God wants you to. It's time to step up to what God desires for you. Let God write your story with his blessings and heavenly expectations. Engage in the want to. Let your mind relax knowing that God has it all figured out. Let go of the control and relinquish the manipulative disbelief lifestyle. Believe and live in your faith knowing that God has covered you with love and grace. You don't have to live up to anyone's expectations. You don't have to bow down to your own expectations. You are no longer held in bondage by your thoughts. Your mind and thoughts are ready to engage in the want to. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have an incredible week. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.